we can't wait for is David Lombardi. He's on the line right now. David Lombardi does a great job covering the Niners for The Athletic, and he's getting ready for training camp, which opens on Wednesday. Rookies have already reported. David, good morning, my man. Our favorite time of the year. Football's almost back.
Good morning. How was Hawaii? Weren't you in Hawaii?
I was in Maui. It was pretty damn good, David. You were somewhere, too. I was in Maui. It's about 80 degrees, 80% humidity. I read Genius. I'm sure you've read the Bill Walsh books. You've read them all, I'm sure. You've told me about them. I read Genius during the week, finished that book, so that was really cool to talk. Rehash some of the Bill Walsh memories in the 80s teams. The 49ers, of course, winning 3 Super Bowls under Bill Walsh. So, yeah, Maui was great, David.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've only been to Hawaii once in my life. But want to get back out there. I'm thinking next April because we want to go out to Japan. I really want to see Tokyo and all of Japan. And was thinking about stopping in Hawaii on the way, shorten the flight a little bit. But it looked like a lot of fun.
Well, you know what? The road to Hana and Maui. But you know what's funny? You brought up Japan. Anna actually brought up, she goes, the next spot she wants to go to is Japan. That's been on our bucket list, man. Japan, Tokyo.
I heard it's unbelievable, right? I mean, and you know, fun fact, Tokyo to San Francisco is an 8.5-hour flight. It is not far.
That's not bad at all.
People think it's like 20 hours away, but on the way back, you also, because you're crossing the date line, you can take off at 5 p.m. in Japan and land in San Francisco in the morning. So you're like getting the time back, which to me is the biggest trip ever. You can fly across the whole Pacific Ocean and get like 6 hours back.
David, this is what I'm talking about. This is why you're on the show.
You guys should be the Wright brothers.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. We will talk traveling Wednesday, David, after practice. We will. I'm telling you, Japan is on my list. Where'd you just go, though? Because you got married. You were somewhere, too. I saw your Instagram photos or your Facebook photos or whatnot.
Yeah, well, we were in Africa. Went to Tanzania on a safari and then to Zanzibar. It was a trip of a lifetime. And then on the way home, you talk about heat. We went through Dubai, where we went out to the desert, and it was a great time. Don't get me wrong, we ate some great food and rode ATVs in the desert. It all happened. It was 108 and humid.
Wow.
And because it's out in the Persian Gulf, right? So the Gulf just blows in this steamy air.
Are you done taking vacations?
You know what, David? Shasky doesn't travel outside of the Bay Area, so he's a little lost right now. He looks like a lost puppy.
It's training camp.
Training camp starts on Wednesday. I want to hear about Tanzania and Africa and stuff like that. It's a lot better to talk about Trey Lance and Brock Purdy. Come on.
Let's get right into it. No, I'm going to get right into it. Is Brock going to be there this week? Is he going to be on the junior field? Is he even going to be in the state of California?
He'll be there because you could, even if they put him on PUP, physically unable to perform, he could do everything except for practice. And for the longest time, we were expecting him to be on PUP. I don't know right now. We're going to find out for sure what's going to happen probably tomorrow when Kyle and John speak. But if he's not on PUP, that would be this big.
All right, we're going to put you on a quick hold, David. We're going to put you on a quick hold to reconnect you. You'll break it up a little bit. We can talk traveling all day, man. David's my guy. He's supposed to go to Tokyo. The sushi in Tokyo? Oh, my God. 8.5-hour flight. Yeah, I'm going to Tokyo next year. That's my vacation. Brock Purdy will be on a baby field. Why are you so stressed, man? You got to travel, Shasky. Travel a little bit. Live a little bit. Go past Sonoma. There's a whole world out there. I'm telling you, the road to Hana, you and Michelle will have a great time. A great time. The banana bread out there. Oh.
Does anyone really have a choice?
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Be at the pool with your shirt off, a little Giants hat, some glasses, maybe a visor. Sit in the tube, Shasky.
I'm working my way up to remodeling the cabin. Once we get to that, and we can worry about traveling abroad. I'm still in the real estate acquisition phase of my life.
So am I.
I'm actually I'm in training camp mode right now, if I'm being 100% honest with you.
You don't look like it. You got your Giant stuff off. You got your Giant stuff on.
Well, I've only get to wear this for another couple of days.
No. Oh, you're one of those fans.
What do you mean?
You only rock it in season?
Well, I'll wear it, a little here and there. But
Stop being a homer, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just fired up. Like, we've got Brock Purdy. It sounds like he's not going to be put on the PUP. If he gets put on the PUP, I guess my question is, if he gets put on the PUP, does that mean he's automatically out for a couple of games of the regular season? Because I know when you declare someone on the physically unable to perform list, that designates them to miss a certain amount of time. So I don't even know if that's a thing. Is David back?
I am. Do you hear me?
Yeah. So if they
Yeah, no, you're not designated to miss any sort of time. There are two different PUP lists.
Okay.
There's one for training camp, and then there's one for the regular season. And we're only going to be dealing with the training camp one if Purdy lands there. And you can activate a player at any time from the training camp one. Now, what you can't do is put a player on PUP after they've practiced. Once the player's practiced and you want to put them on an injury list, it would have to be IR, which in training camp would end the player's season. So putting him on PUP would be a no downside maneuver if he's not 100%, which is why I think we all have expected Purdy to go on PUP, because the timeline for the longest time since the surgery has not added up until around the start of the preseason at least. But if he's way ahead of schedule, then he won't be on PUP and he's going to be practicing on Wednesday. We don't know. Only the 49ers know. They're going to let us know tomorrow. Maybe something leaks a little bit earlier. But it's not the end of the world. In fact, it's been expected if Purdy goes on PUP, because they can activate him at any time. Now, what you asked, so why does PUP even exist? Well, it's for these players whose injuries might extend into the regular season. And if you go through all of training camp on PUP, and then you're still on PUP, then the regular season starts, you could shift the player over to the regular season PUP list, in which case you have to miss the first 4 games. So, but we're not anywhere near that yet. We're only on the training camp PUP list if that happens. And for that, they'd be able to activate Purdy on any day that they wanted to.
All right, David Lombardi from The Athletic here on the Morning Roast. I still want to talk about Tokyo and sushi and stuff like that, but let's talk training camp. I'm doing it to get under Shasky's skin here. He's redder than this light on a microphone right now.
Bonte's podcast.
I mean, come on, man.
Sponsored by Alaskan.
That sounds like a great idea. That actually sounds like a great idea. One of your better ones in the last 3 years.
I mean,
David,
I
Brennan
am the idea
Aiyuk,
guy on this show.
Brennan Aiyuk, what's going on with this contract? What can we expect? Because I hear a lot of stuff about, you can't pay him and D, but I'm thinking to myself, why the hell not? Why can't you do that? So what's Aiyuk's status looking like? Because I think he's primed for another big season with the Niners.
Yeah, so right now he's still playing on his rookie contract. 49ers getting him at a very cost-efficient price. They picked up his 5th-year option for next season, which is much more expensive, $14.1 million. And you would think that before next season, if Brandon Aiyuk is in their long-term plans, that they would want to extend him before it gets to that, so they could actually lower next season's cap hit by stretching that money into the future. I think that the 49ers want to keep him for the long term, and I think that we're going to finalize that decision based on his performance this year. I think it's simple. If you're an A-list performer, the 49ers will find a way to keep you, especially if you're homegrown by this coaching staff. They've kept all of the A-listers that this coaching staff has drafted and developed so far. So that would be next offseason's business for Brandon Aiyuk. The reason people are freaking out is because the 49ers already have $270 million of liability against the cap for 2024, and that's before Bosa's contract, which hasn't been signed yet, is even executed. So it might be $280 million, and the cap might only be like $250 or $260 million. So the 49ers are going to have to find a way to get under the cap. And obviously that's going to be a challenge. But I think that the 49ers, as long as they keep on drafting well, to have the margins of their roster filled out in a cost-controlled fashion through draft and bargain bin signings, they can afford to keep on giving big money to star players who are productive, because the cap does grow every year, and you are able to kind of duck underneath it with restructures that are sustainable, as long as you're not overpaying players who are not worth it. But the stars are worth it. So if Brandon Aiyuk proves that he's a star this year, last year he was already well on his way with a 1,000-yard receiving season. He does that again, I think the 49ers are going to say this guy's worth it, and they're going to back up the Brinks truck.
You alluded to a Nick Bosa contract. Defensive Player of the Year last year. Obviously, Aaron Donald, highest paid guy, annual value at the position, most guarantees on that defensive line. I don't want to argue about $1 million here, $1 million there. It feels like he's going to be right near the Aaron Donald number. This is going to get done this week, right? They're going to keep Nick Bosa.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely going to keep Nick Bosa. They've expected this since the start. They knew that Nick Bosa's agent, Brian Ayrault, loves to leverage deadline pressure to get the best possible deal for his client. There's absolutely nothing wrong for that. That's how I think anybody in Nick Bosa's situation would operate. And let's be honest, the first deadline, and it's really a soft deadline, it's not really a hard deadline, but the first soft deadline is not until Wednesday. So why would Nick Bosa and his representation wait several months only to fold a couple days early? I think that you could really expect this to last until the deadline. And if it does happen a little bit early, that's great for both sides. But right now, I would just be on Nick Bosa watch for this week, and it's going to happen at some point very soon. That would be my prediction.
David Lombardi from The Athletic here on No Morning Ross on 95.7 The Game. And you're right. The Niners do pay. They have $355 million in guaranteed contracts, or just in guarantees to guys like Trent Williams, Fred Warner, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Charvarius Ward, Juszczyk, Drake Greenlaw, Jet York, Parag Barate, John Lynch and company. They put their money where their mouth is. So I'm with you, David. They will take care of their players if they do perform at a high level. Do you expect them to bring in another edge rusher, or are they sold on Drake Jackson being that starter opposite of Nick Bosa?
Well, this is where this is how you pay guys, is because you save money on positions like that. And this is where Drake Jackson has to pan out, or where one of their bargain bin guys has to pan out, because you will be paying Bosa. You already are, in a way. Bosa's cap hit even before this new deal is $18 million this year, so he's already getting a lot of money this season. You are paying Javon Hargrave. You are paying Eric Armstead. In my mind, the second edge rusher for the 49ers could not be on a better platform to succeed, because he's not going to face a single double team all year. You got Bosa, you got Hargrave, you have Armstead eating up all this attention. At some point, your draft pick or your bargain bin signing has to deliver, right? Because you can't just pay everybody. They're paying so many people, as you just listed.
Right.
This is the margin that you have to succeed at with cost efficiency. And Drake Jackson's a second-round pick. He's not making a lot of money compared to a lot of these A-list names. And this is his chance to earn some money over the next couple of years. And whoever it is at that spot, if you can't succeed with Bosa, Hargrave, and Armstead around you, it's probably going to be hard to succeed at the NFL. So I don't think that they're going to sign an edge rusher, because every million does count. You just want to make sure that when you do spend those million, they go to a deserving place, like to Nick Bosa, who obviously has that kind of impact. If they get desperate toward the deadline and they're not getting the production they need at that second edge rusher spot, maybe they do have a little extra money right now. But I think they'd much rather get the production on a cheaper basis now and then roll that money over next year when they have that $270 million bill and liabilities to pay.
All right, David, we're going to let you go. We'll see you Wednesday. Hey, maybe one of the days, Wednesday, Thursday, you stop by the Hilton, man. We'll do a quick hit or something before practice.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. I'll be there every single day. So
right.
Yeah, come through.
Yeah, come through.
Come through.
We'll be there. We'll talk more traveling.
Yeah, the seat's always open for you.
I would love it. Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys. It's been a long off season, I feel, so I'm glad that we're finally in a spot where we can advance the discussion a little bit naturally instead of talking about the same things over and over.
I'm with you.
Reckless speculation. It's always fun, right? No, we're just kidding. David, take care. We'll see you
Thanks,
Wednesday.
buddy.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Anytime. I like that idea. Traveling podcast.